day. Not much more to say on the subject of the grave, but if by any mistake you ever wake up one day and think up one way to make up the decision to end it, and no, I'm not trying to be specific, just know you shouldn't take granted of living's benefit in it. The sentence that I uttered with no list or shut, I got to muffle through the hallways, looking at my brother. Some things in this world causes you to go cold and old. Other things causes you to die young and live old. Is it about picking up and living life to the fullest? So the time he next to stop, I'll probably be losing. Till I'm taking chances and living with no regrets.
All right, again, thank you guys so much for coming and checking us out for the High and Mighty screening. We're going to get into the Q&A. If you have any questions whatsoever, we got Hideous from NOLYB band. He's going to pick that up. Again, give it up for Walter Kronkite, Crocker, Trey, Morrow, and Daniel for putting together a great project. So I'm going to turn things over to you guys.
For the crowd. Is Hideous and not gone? Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
What's up, cat?
All right.
Your hair. What'd you do with it?
I've got a bad ear.
Let's see.
Dude,
What'd you do with your
All right,
people?
while I get situated here, I guess the most obvious question is, at least in my head, why make an album like this?
Well, it all started when I was a small child.
How small were you?
I think I started children's choir when I was 5. And it's just that constant, you know, every week, going to church, gonna go get right with Jesus. And anybody that grew up in that can honestly say that automatically you take that for granted.
We are in the Bible, Will.
But you don't think twice about it.
My dad actually raised me on Southern Rock, so
Right.
I was always taught Jesus was just all right with me.
And it just kind of evolved from there. I went to Christian school, did that whole bit for like 2.5 years. I just became fascinated with this idea that, like, if you don't accept Jesus, you're going to hell. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Why are you trying to traumatize my ass? I'm gonna go to bed and think about a goddamn guy and a pitchfork, horns, poking me in the ass, and a lake of fire. Why are you doing this to me? How in any way, shape, or form is this not emotional and mental rape? You should be locked up for this shit. Like, they should chain you in a small, cold, dark room in Guantanamo Bay and not ever let you see the light of day again. And I just went down the old comparative religion rabbit hole from there and started studying comparative religion. Yada, yada, yada. We kept going, and between that and studying Freemasonry, it just kind of led me to that.
Okay, just to expand on that for a moment, because even for my own personal interest, like, I don't even care about the panel at this point, but out of all the religions that you've studied, is there anything out of all of these that just stands out to you that you think is a just general takeaway that people should have? Or is there anything that just really stands out to you as like, this is strange? I know that's a very open-ended
No, not at all. My favorite thing, I'll tell you away from religion, I mean, like, as far as the oddest thing, easily had to be Zoroastrianism, which was like the first monotheistic religion or the worship of one God. And these are the Persians. And when you die, or back in the day when you died, they take your body, right, in this fucking football-sized stadium of, I don't even know what you call it. I guess like a burial pit. And this came to be through my research with like what ended up being the Gentile Christian inspiration for hell. And when I finally pieced this together, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! I found the holy fucking grail of what the fuck. So when you die, they have this big football stadium of just like ash, right? Just like burnt up bodies. And what they do when you die in this religion is they put you on an altar in an open air stadium, right? And they wait for the vultures to come down and pick the flesh off your bones. And when your skeletal corpse is completely clean, nothing left but what's left of the calcium in your makeup, they then take your skeletal corpse and light this big barbecue pit on fire and throw your skeleton in this humongous, oversized barbecue pit. And that's where you get Christian hell from. The root word in Hebrew is Sheol, and Sheol means grave, pit, or to be separated from God. And one of the general consensus ideas that go throughout all religions is if you're dead, you're not there with God, because God is life. So if you're dead, you're separated from God. And when I pieced all that together, let me tell you something. Easily the proudest accomplishment of my life. I just wanted to go door to door in the fucking South and go, can I have 10 minutes of your time?
I want to tell you how there's no hell.
Let me tell you why there's no hell. No. I can prove this with religion. Fuck all that science shit. I can go with what you went for your entire life and explain this within context. I don't need Bill Nye. No. Not at all. You can keep the guy from Cosmos. I've got your favorite, the G.O.D., baby. But the most consistent running theme is like, up until Christianity, man, like, even Judaism, like, still their belief. Like, and I guess except for Islam too, but the general idea is like, all religion is ancestral worship. And the idea of God is just a manifestation of what comes from within, and the idea that God is I am, and we are all God, because we are all and we are all the makeup of God. Not that we're God by myself or by yourself, like you're just going to stand up and go, Moses, rise. And all of a sudden you're going to see a fucking 5,000-year-old skeleton just rise up from the fucking ground, pull out a staff and go, where's the water? Part. Is just the makeup within itself. Like, we are all a manifestation of God, we are all an extension of God, and together we can act as God, meaning we can change our destiny, we can change our fate, we can make the world a better place. We can go back to Eden,
Collective consciousness.
There you go. There's a little Abrahamic reference for you. We can go back to Eden, bro. Me and you, him, her, yeah. We can do this. I heard it was a pomegranate myself later on down the line.
Those suck too.
Yeah, they do. I don't like pomegranate.
Okay, so, on the same token, then, being down here in the Bible Belt and, having such a, let's just say, incendiary album and subsequent documentary, why make a documentary about this album?
Well, I'm a Christian, so I have to hear Crocker rant about all this stuff. So I figured I'd make you all as miserable as me.
That's pretty bullshit.
That's why we made the documentary.
Wait, you want to suffer along with the rest of us.
Moving on.
Months.
Hell no.
Oh,
So, for any of you, was there any kind of just general worry in the process of putting out something like this?
I know from his fact it had to be.
It had to be for him.
Yeah, for Trey. Well, for me, no. You can follow Crocker enough places and he'll take you down the darkest roads you need to go. Once you're left outside in a truck stop in Tennessee on Thanksgiving Day, you kind of figure what boat you're hopping into when you go to do an album.
Okay, I feel compelled to ask you about that story.
It was an entertaining evening. We show up to the venue, and besides the barkeep and 3 other white rappers there,
Who were horrible, by the way, just so we're clear.
if you like Drake,
And
you
this was
would absolutely get along with them. They sounded nothing like Drake, but they love Drake as well. They love Drake as well. But, yeah, so we're doing 100 real quick. But we're there, and we're expecting at least to get on the stage, perform, do something. And we're there 2 hours waiting on people to show up. Nobody showed up. We're there again for another hour trying to talk to the man about possibly giving us $30 to get home. And that didn't happen either. So then at the time he called his label head and spent the night outside of a truck stop and got a wire transferred money at a buy loan.
At a money ground at 6 a.m. Turned around after sleeping in that cramped car and drove back in Thanksgiving holiday traffic. And what made it even better, mind you, was that there had just been a rock slide on I-40 3 months before. Oh my dear God. So what was supposed to be only a 4 or 5 hour trip, I guess with the time change from Eastern Standard to Central, turned into a nice 8-hour drive. Thanksgiving morning. Just imagine that.
I've never seen a man drive that fast and hold a steering wheel that hard in my entire life. He meant it when he said you're going to get home for Thanksgiving. And I did. As I pulled up to the driveway, as he dropped me off at the driveway, my family was getting in the car to go leave. So
This
thank
sounds
you.
like planes, trains, and automobiles.
It's exactly what it was. It's just a very late
Who was John
homoerotic version.
Oh, you're John Candy?
That's too funny.
Yes. Yes, I was junkie.
I'm almost afraid to ask this next question. Was that the worst show that y'all ever did?
Oh, God.
Oh
I
God.
know.
What was the worst?
Well, there was the one I was telling them about earlier where I didn't even make it in the door. And I was doing the Captain America or Team America thing where I was puking everywhere. And literally, Crocker's just tapping me on the shoulder. Hey, dude, are you going to perform tonight? All right, man, whatever. And he just barely shuts the door and walks back inside. So I maintained that wasn't such a good night.
No. I've got the best one. I don't know if this is the worst show I've ever did, but you want to talk about some socially irresponsible shit, right? Ask Trey Morrow, who put me in front of a crowd on a Saturday night of people that were under the age of 13.
They were at least 16, Crocker.
Yeah, tell
They were
another
at least
lie.
16, Crocker.
Huh? Tell another lie. He's got me in there with the Disney Channel fans club because he wants the kids to hear real hip hop. And that was one of the arguments when the whole Spring Fling thing jumped off. Like, nah, bro. Nah. I've done clean shows. I've been forced to do clean shows.
I helped you out.
You just can't walk in front of a room full of 13-year-olds and 11, 12, 10, even 9-year-olds and go, hey, motherfuckers! Y'all hear some motherfucking hip-hop in this motherfucker! No, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Immediately, you'd see, like, kids with cell phones. Mom, Dad, there's a white man on stage. He's motherfucker in me. He's motherfucker in the shit out of me. Why is he motherfucker in me? No. Yeah, exactly. Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
See, despite the spring fling and people's many conceptions, like he's actually done a number of shows for underage kids. Like I remember he kept trying to talk me into going one time to a show that he was putting on for professional wrestling, and it was like WWE. We're talking about Jim Bob that lives 2 doors down that just so happens wants to do something inside the venue related to him.
I want to hit my friends with chairs.
And that's what you get when you sign to a record label owned by an ex-professional wrestler. Hey, you know what was really great in the 80s? Rock and wrestling. Hulk Hogan, Cyndi Lauper, ring a bell for you? I've got a great idea for you in the 2010s. Jim Bob and Speedos, bro. And you're performing. Yes!
Oh no.
I mean, I wanted it in advance, but this'll do, right?
Did you ever go back there afterwards? Like, did you ever do another show?
Oh, good God, no.
I didn't think you did.
No, that was it.
I've been there once or twice. I was like, hey man, you want to go to this wrestling show? I'm like, why not? He's like, all right, we're going to perform there. No, you go ahead. Yeah, you are fine. I've got to wash my hands.
These aren't so-called normal people that you're interviewing for this documentary. How did you approach that?
Oh, I made this up. It was all off top. Like in his. Where was I?
In my grandmother's house.
Yeah, grandma. Yeah, like I made it up in the driveway. Because you can't really approach it. There's really no way of doing that. I'm not sure why I'm even yeah. It was actually easier than you imagine.
I imagine it was difficult.
That's what I'm saying. Of course you would think that. But I just said, hey Crocker, and he was like, let me tell you about God. And that was really it. I feel like you just say Crocker's name and like Mithras is mentioned at some point and Mazda. I thought he was talking about cars.
To be fair, while he was interviewing, like Crocker went first. And the first thing that happened, man, it's like I thought we were all going to sit around and like get to witness the questioning, and like I thought it was going to be like some like teary Oprah Winfrey last show type stuff. And instantly it was like Crocker looks over at me, Hillary, and he goes, "All right, they're going to go outside. Like, no. You'll get to see this when it eventually comes out." I'm like, oh God, I can only imagine the subject matter at hand. But he kept it on a straight path, so yeah, good job, Daniel.
For the most part.
Yeah. Kudos.
So Trey, how did you approach this project? From a filmmaker standpoint or otherwise?
I just really captured it. Daniel asked all the questions. I asked them if really we were more like conversating in the part where they were in the room and it wasn't as formal.
Right.
But I basically was just there and captured everything. I mean, I don't think you can guide Crocker and Kronkite in any particular way. That's why I didn't put directed by at the end of the credits. I just put documented by. I was just kind of there.
It's wrangling cat. That's what that was about.
Cat wrangler.
So, was there anything about the subject matter of this project that made either or any uneasy at all? Just like, man, are we really gonna put this out? Like anything like that?
I'm used to Crocker. I wasn't surprised. I knew what I signed up for.
Are you asking me if something I said made me uneasy? Is that a real question? Raise your hand if you think something I've ever said has ever made me uneasy.
Oh yeah.
It's made me uneasy? Shit, me.
Remind him, Walter.
Like, people have this idea of me. He's gonna say something controversial. He's gonna say something just to rattle our cages. Don't pay him, no, never mind. Yeah, like, I'm never worried. Like, either they listen or they don't. As long as I'm not playing a city function, they're all right. The moment that happens, I got Rothschilds coming out of the fucking work going, he won a high school open mic, bro. That's how he got this gig. We would never let this motherfucker on stage. So, as long as I'm not out in public in front of their kids at First Baptist Church, I'm never, ever. In fact, tell them, Daniel, how I made the Rothschild uneasy.
Let's make sure we don't see any red dots before we talk about Rob.
Yeah.
Just blow us all up.
All I know is that whatever you did, people tried to dispel the fact that there were people that were mad about it. Certain specific people within, I don't know, certain congregations that are very prominent in the area, and they try to act like it wasn't part of the establishment of that church, rather. And I saw the emails, and I heard firsthand who it came from. You pissed the whole church off. I don't even know how you do that. I've been trying to do that for years.
Yeah, that's commendable.
And that was before High Almighty.
Yeah, you hadn't even done this.
It's like, we didn't do this, and you're like, oh God. No.
How do I up the ante? I know, and the funny thing, we had just finished. We had just finished High Almighty when that shit happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember Tri-Pound coming into the studio with the contracts for the, I think we had literally just got done with the Sienna Corona.
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah.
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 Hell, I mean, at the end of the day, they care or they don't. You know, if I'm pissing them off, my idea's always been, well, bothers them that much, maybe they go research it. And when they research it, they'll go, oh shit, he was right. Don't tell anybody. And as long as they come to Jesus, one way or another, I don't care. I don't want the credit for it. I don't need that tally on my new spring marker. You know what I mean? I don't need my saved souls board. I just want to do it.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, I guess maybe to elaborate a little bit, what was the most important part of making this project? Like, what did you really want to make sure that people could take away from it?
Time out. Is Hideous' mic even on? Oh, okay. I can barely hear you.
I have a bad
That's
ear
right
right
side.
now, so like
Alright. My
allergies,
bad.
something, I don't know. It's just I can't.
It's the seasonal ladies.
So I don't know, man. I guess my 4,000 years are finally catching up on me. Yeah,
What was the question?
I'm sorry.
What did you want the people? What was the main thing you wanted people to take away from it?
What was the main thing I wanted people to
Take
take
away
away
from the project.
from
The project.
High Almighty? The documentary or the actual
whether
album?
it's the album or the documentary.
Honestly,
This is my way of making everyone able to answer this question.
yeah. The documentary in itself is honestly, I love all of you, but it's for me when I'm 80. That way I can point and say, this is the dumb shit I was when I was little. And it was really more for the album. And what I really wanted people to take away from the album was actually in the documentary. So it goes together. That's convenient. But it was just the fact that if there's something that's important to you, as Crocker was just saying, and someone's able to rile it up with a song or two, maybe it might be in your best interest to do some research of your own. Maybe, define your high line. So.
Right. Which you mentioned in the documentary.
Yeah.
Just saw, of course.
A couple times.
My ultimate goal with the project was to bait Perry Noble into a public debate. And I'm still hoping. I'll get that call down from Anderson. And he'll say, Stephen, I felt the Spirit moving inside of me.
I don't see anybody laughing. Perry Noble is the pastor of.
He's a rich son of a bitch down there now.
Yeah, he's working on it.
He's the guy from New Spring, in case you were wondering.
Yeah,
Internet church.
I'm waiting on that phone call to where he says, I felt the Spirit moving inside of me, and I feel like,
Perry Noble calling you, man.
maybe you're the devil, and maybe I want to cast some demons out of you in public, and then we can just, segue into a debate.
Hey, let's schedule that for this time next year, right here. We'll go ahead and just publicly.
Perry Noble, you get called out by the greatest. All right?
Cut a promo. Cut a wrestling
You don't know
promo.
what's going to happen.
I'm calling.
When Crocker wraps them 16-inch pythons around your neck. All right? Next question.
Is Chocolate in there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
DJ.
wow. Ma'am, you know any way to get in touch with Perry Noble? A friend of a friend? Gosh.
We'll worry
We'll
about
make
that next
that
time.
work. We got that. We
No,
got that. We got that.
I like this
The
idea.
seeds have been planted.
And then I can do what he does. I can make more money off God by baiting him into a debate. I love it. Let's go.
I want to get some of that tax-free church paper as well. So,
I'm in with that.
I'm all about this. But
I'm also in.
okay, as far as like doing the album artwork, just shifting entirely,
Fucking stop asking me questions.
No, you're sitting here.
Damn it.
I have to.
Alright, fair enough.
I haven't even hardly gotten to Trey yet.
Trey is the man. That's who you're trying to talk to right now.
But as far as the design process, how did you approach that? Were you at all familiar with the music? Or?
I listened to How like 20 times probably in a row because I don't know if you've sat down and listened to Crocker and Kronkite, but that shit takes Googling, a whole lot of Googling. And so I was like, what the fuck is a Mithras? And so after all that and making lots of notes and scribbling like a crazy person, and I had all these post-it notes on the fucking walls, and Alyssa can attest to this. There's post-it notes every fucking where in my office, our office. And I was like, wow, you know what this looks like? This looks like the scribblings of a madman. And so I thought, like, well, first of all, there's two people, and they're both white dudes, and so they sound like the rantings of a madman, but like maybe the same dude, and he has like this dual personality in a way because they don't approach anything the same way, and so I had this idea of like a guy who was like sequestered into his room, and sequestered probably not the right word. He's locked up in his room, and he has like all these newspaper clippings on his walls, and he's like completely freaked the fuck out about everything that's happening in the world and God and the state and the things that I'm often freaked out about, but as you should be. And so I was like, here's what we're gonna do. I have a stack of newspapers that goes way the hell back. We'll just cut them apart and we'll paste them up to a wall, and we'll have you both standing side by side, very symmetrically, and that because in all religious paintings, I noticed a theme is there's just like this really symmetrical thing to it, and the whole idea is like a divine design. So like God designed something, it's going to be extremely perfect. And so what I want to do is like have it seem perfect, but when you look at it closer, like it's not symmetrical at all. It looks like it is, but it's not. And yeah, that's it.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just learned something.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever said that out loud.
No.
Yeah, he's never said anything like that to us.
It is-
I'm sorry.
It is a striking album cover, which, quick plug, you can also get a poster of. Right?
Yeah, there's posters in the back.
Yeah, go see your man DC back there.
And CDs. My man's got them there.
Yeah, I see that was all.
How much are they?
$10.
$10.
$10 tonight only. Any other night for 20. Just there's only 50 of them.
That is true.
We did it
We
extremely-
numbered each one, so if you got a copy already, we know who you are. We know where you live.
I've got one, so there's
We will be
49.
meeting y'all in the future.
I've got one, there's 49 then that means. And
I need one.
Raise
Yeah.
your hand if you get a copy of High Almighty.
Yes.
by
All right.
default,
We
student count.
just literally beat 80% of the crowd, so we're done.
We're done here.
There we go.
No, I have more questions.
Go for it.
Okay, this is for either you or Trey. What was the most compelling aspect of working on this project to you personally?
I make jokes about Crocker and Kronkite, but even though we don't always agree, I feel like we're always pushing the conversation forward.
Right.
And I think anytime you can capture that, then that's pretty, you know, Crocker style.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's the idea. Pushing the conversation.
Because as a Christian, I mean, you see a lot of people, and this goes for any religion, people that are just brainwashed in it from the beginning, including myself. And it wasn't until I broke away from that and kind of came back that, you know, I got to where I was. It wasn't until I thought for myself, and I think the Crocker and Kronkite think for themselves.
Same here, actually. Yeah. I met Crocker a long time ago. I booked this 40 band show over 2 days at Ground Zero, and it was called Burn Fest. And but I really didn't talk to him before the Spring Fling event, and that all went down. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna go back to school eventually, and I want to design album covers. And he was like, all right, I'll call you. And then that was what, a year later, it's like, hey, this is Stephen Crocker. I want you to design an album cover. And I was like, I was kidding. I didn't really want to do that.
I think that's what his voicemail really sounds like.
This is Terry, Stephen Crocker. Leave a message after the beep.
All of his text messages look like lawyer letterhead.
That's not too far off.
Yeah.
Say when Crocker's in Greenville and texts you, you know he's in Greenville when he texts you.
Yeah.
If you spend 10 minutes talking to either one of these young men, and Trey also, but I mean, I didn't meet him until the filming, you kind of want to do stuff. Like, you're like, they're inspiring. Whether or not you believe that. They really are.
I like that statement. Expand on that, if you will. The fact that you find these people inspiring. Not to put you on the spot or anything, but.
Well, I said it earlier, like you just say Crocker, and then there's like a whole diatribe about God. I like when I can just go, and make a point, and then he just fucking talks, and I like to listen to people. That's my favorite thing. That's why I think that maybe I am into podcasts and interviewing people, but I don't like to talk that much, obviously. And I'm not uncomfortable, I just don't like to do it. So, it's just, it's fun to listen when Steven talks about it. Like, it's one of those things I listen to. And it's on a historical factor, like, it interests me, for sure.
So, now that the album's been out for a while, obviously. Now that the documentary is official, I know it might be a little soon for the documentary side of things, but what would you say, all of you, is the most fulfilling aspect of having this thing out there now?
The fact that anyone fucking showed up.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
There's no scene without people there.
Yeah. No, people see it, hear it. Yeah. Maybe get interested in something that we're rambling on about. You know what I mean? That's the general idea. It's very communist of me. You know what I mean? Like, here's a tidbit of information. Go marinate on that. See how you feel about it in the morning. You know what I mean?
See, I said outside, like literally right before we started Passion Play, that we maybe had 15 people here, 16 people here, but we had 15 and 16 intimate people here. It wouldn't mean that much if I had somebody that I'd never met before. They didn't even really understand the whole concept of the album or the documentary or anything like that. It does mean that much more to me to see all y'all here because I understand that y'all understand. That y'all are listening and watching for a purpose. Entertainment may be it, but at the same time, y'all understand why we're doing it.
KRS-One, edutainment. Edutainment. There you go.
Entertainment.
Edutainment. Bomb.
Being that this whole project is, based in religion, let's just play, no pun intended, but let's play devil's advocate here. And let's say that paradise, heaven, whatever, is real. What's there? How are you greeted into this fantastic
With a level one. It's not like a genie or anything, it's just what we think.
No, it's paradise. Literally paradise. It is heaven. It is nirvana. It is all those other terms.
I think Nirvana would actually.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
Nirvana would.
Yeah, no, Dave Grohl would have never been with the Foo Fighters. That would have never existed.
Classic
Yeah,
nirvana. Bleach all day.
I love the Foo Fighters.
I imagine like you die, you see the light, you follow the light, and then it's like cut to scene. There's one Palestinian man standing there, and Mark Echo. I have no idea why Mark Echo, but we're just gonna say Mark Echo, right? Shoes and all. And he says, "Come sit under this tree and talk to me." And then that's eternity.
That sucks.
It's just talking. It's just like an endless conversation that just stretches on for eternity. Where you just sit there figuring shit out.
Wait,
Like,
wait, are we talking about fashion?
huh?
Are we talking about fashion?
No, we're just talking about
Mark
like.
Echo's just there.
No. The one Palestinian's wearing Mark Echo.
Okay.
And we're just asking whoever to sit under this tree, and we just hash out existence. Like we ask all the big questions, like magnets. How the fuck do they work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like right off the bat. Magnets. How do they work? Why
I'm
is
so glad someone worked in St. Clown Posse reference into this.
no like you just
That's
sit.
unfortunate.
No, that tickles me pink.
You find out why you start from the bottom
Now we're
And
here.
now you're here.
and now you're here.
Sure.
Crocker goes 0 to 100 real quick. All right.
And then you work. I mean, like legitimately, like I don't know about the Mark Echo shit, but I was literally, like, I just think like you die, you cut the scene. There was one guy there, and he's probably or she is just like sexually ambiguous. Like don't know if it's a man, if it's a woman. It's just there. and it just sits and it talks to you for the rest of existence. And you just hash it out, and once you've hashed it all out, fade to black.
I'm thinking more of we are all AA batteries, and like the further we get along, the further that obviously our power is drained, and at that point when the battery is dead, we're instantly put in a refrigerator. Until
That's bleak as shit.
you save something up and be able to be used again for again. Yeah, I like to equate living life.
It sounds like 8-bit Valhalla, Norse heaven.
So like occasionally you're put in a device and shaken.
Oh yeah. I mean, like you've heard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like that's what I believe. I think you're judging. But at the end of the day, if I can get just a glimpse of anything at the very end, I think that in itself would be what heaven was supposed to be, or what paradise was supposed to be.
I'm with that.
All right, we need to wrap it up. Apparently,
I gotta pee.
Okay, I'm actually.
I'm not trying to share too much.
He's got like 13 questions left.
No, I always write too many.
Better more than less.
So, just one more kind of random sort of bullshit question. What's your favorite thing that you would like to say? Like, just something that you find yourself saying a lot.
Woo! Woo, woo, woo!
you know it.
All about Terrinos. And no, you can go ahead. It'll come to me.
For whatever reason,
Yeah.
mashallah.
Yeah, he said
Yeah, you said that at the Wendy's drive-thru.
Jesus.
It clearly
Jesus.
just made.
Somebody sold you a burger and you said
Mashallah.
mashallah.
Yeah.
Made that lady's day.
She's like, there's bacon on this motherfucker.
This is the man that will randomly go into the grocery store and like literally every person he says, "Hey Jesus, how you doing, Jesus? Hope you're doing good, Jesus."
I thought you just said that to me. Now I don't feel
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like,
It's not wrong. Sorry, Trey.
Cue the Charlie Brown.
That started with you.
You are the most Christ-like figure.
It branched out, but that started with you.
like me, Crocker, and Hagerman had a meeting, and like we all got together and said that if he tried to lose any more weight, that we would tie him down and force feed him, because if he loses any more weight, he would be Jesus, and we don't need that. We don't.
I feel like for whatever reason I say mashallah a lot. It's Arabic. It means God has willed it. I just something happens. Mashallah. God has willed it. What is or what is done is what was meant to be. If it was not meant to be, then why does it happen? That's how I work that out in my head.
Let me be clear.
That's what I say. I say that. I say let me be clear. And that's what that's about. That's what that's about.
That's a bet.
You got one, Trey?
I just say holla.
You said holla?
What?
Exactly like that. Like you didn't get to see it because he didn't finish rolling it. That's at that very end.
You said holla?
Yeah, he just listened to the can.
Subliminal message.
Yeah, that's you know how you get your TM or you get your Pepsi logo. That's his logo for his brand. You know, it's just him looking in the camera. Oh.
I'm having a wedding soon. I don't think I'm gonna holler at that dude. Holler.
Alright,
Or Hullis. Because he said holla, it reminds me. Hullis. That's Arabic. It means enough.
I just said brother.
Which I think is kind of fitting.
That makes it right now.
yes. Speaking of which, I have so much more I could ask, but for the sake of wrapping this thing up, is there anything else that any of you would like to add about literally anything? Because I mean, people are sitting here listening to you talk. How often do you get this opportunity?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Sticking around. For sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely, you are so many in our hearts, and I
All
like all
these
you
rappers
do.
in here, you better plug some people shit.
Okay.
QT, Hillary's album release party next Friday, WPBR Radio Room in Greenville.
So that's not really a person. It's
We
a
got
thing.
flyers right there.
Make sure you get
Jubby album,
Gemini syndrome.
Gemini Syndrome. Jubby album, the prequel to the sequel, 2014. Drops.
the cracks in the sack.
October 31st. I want to thank Jubby Fuck for being Jubby Fuck.
A million times.
Without Jubby Fuck, there is no Love Bone Records.
Absolutely.
Without Joey Fox, no
Jubby
shit.
Fuck, get the Nixons. Y'all give her a warm round of applause to Jubby Fuck. He's the reason we all exist and breathe with our fucking music.
I would have lost my penis to a Saudi Arabian night if it wasn't for Joey. Saved my life. 7 a.m.
AC Nova, House of Francis, out now. Go download that on iTunes. And the single, Back for the Summer, the video's online with Hillary King. Hillary King's single, Klutz, is out online, YouTube it. And you can find all this at LVLRN.com. I want to thank you all for coming out. God bless. And
Mashallah.
mashallah, white Jesus loves you. White Jesus.
Thanks to Hubbub. Thanks to you for hosting.
Thanks, Bobo. Thank you, Hideous. I'll give a warm round of applause for our host, Hideous.
So this is the part where I make everybody sit an extra 15 minutes as I tell y'all why I'm thankful. Hell no. Thank y'all all for coming.
Thank you. Round of applause, round of applause. God bless. Good night.
Hold on. This is so random, and I'm sorry. Me and Crocker had a brilliant idea last night, and this was after I had said, all right, 100 people come, I'll do a $1,000 giveaway, and obviously you saw that well worked. But we did come up with the idea last night, and the idea was, out of all the chairs that are in here, we're going to take one chair and we're going to tape an album, High Almighty,
Oh, fuck yeah.
underneath the chair. Now, I'm not going to ask everybody to bend down and look underneath your chair. If it happens to be under your chair and you don't want it, just go ahead. But if you would all like to see who won the CD, because someone actually did sit in the chair.
Reach under the chair.
Reach, all of y'all reach under your chairs.
And
Do it.
And if you were to happen to be the person who maybe made the whole fucking album,
What is this? What?
Warm round of applause to Jubby.
Thank y'all for that.
Sorry.